Moving on, then, we wanted to update everyone on a pretty tragic case. This was a fatal crash that occurred in the Davey, Nebraska area. This would have been Sunday night, Sunday evening, and approximately 9:03 p.m. the Lancaster County Sheriff's Office, Raymond Fire and Rescue, Lincoln Fire and Rescue, and Star Care Helicopter Service responded to the area of 1st and Davey Road on a report of a male that was involved in an ATV or UTV crash in that area. And upon arrival at the scene, deputies and medical personnel learned that a 45-year-old male from Madison, Nebraska was a passenger in a 2021 Kawasaki Mule UTV. And the Mule was all told, included a driver and then 5 passengers, one of which was the male victim. And apparently, based on our initial investigation and what we've talked to from witnesses so far, the male was riding in one of the rear seats of the UTV, and while they were traveling westbound on Davey Road near 1st Street, the victim was apparently attempting to move seating positions in the vehicle, and at that point it stepped outside the vehicle and fell onto the roadway as the vehicle was traveling westbound. And that caused some life-threatening injuries, and the victim was flown by Star Care to Bryan West and was later pronounced deceased at the hospital after he'd succumbed to his injuries. The victim in this case is Andrew Koss, K-O-S-S, and Mr. Koss was 45, from Madison, Nebraska. And the vehicle, the UTV, was being driven by Mr. Koss's wife, Sheila Koss, 45, from Madison, Nebraska as well. And certainly a tragic incident, and our hearts go out to the families and all that are involved in that incident. We do, based on some additional investigation that's been done, we do suspect that alcohol was involved in this incident. There had been some reporting in the media that this was referred to as a freak accident sort of thing. That information was not provided by the Sheriff's Office. There were what we're seeing, some things that happened, and due to the alcohol that was involved, no less tragic, but there's certainly some things that precipitated the injuries that occurred, and we're just working to try and figure out exactly what the sequence of events was that led to Mr. Koss's death. So deputies are going to continue to follow up on this case. We understand that the UTV was being operated down the roadway from a drinking establishment in the area, and we're trying to work backwards in the timeline to determine what happened that evening.
Did you do a blood draw on Mrs. Koss?
We did conduct a DUI investigation, and we'll release further information on that if and when it becomes necessary.
But did she appear at all to be under the influence?
Alcohol was suspected to be involved in the incident, and we'll work to determine the extent of that.
Okay.